Imagine you're living peacefully in your apartment when suddenly the government knocks on your door and says, "Sir, please evacuate immediately." There's a 1,000-pound American bomb from World War II just 200 meters from your home, and it could blow up any second. This isn't some Netflix thriller, friends. This actually happened yesterday in Hong Kong, where 6,000 people had to leave their homes because of an 80-year-old bomb that's still deadly enough to flatten entire buildings. In this video, I explain how was the 1,000-pound World War II era American bomb discovered in Hong Kong? Why did Allied forces bomb Hong Kong during World War II? What kind of bomb was discovered? How do bomb disposal teams prepare for high-risk operations involving World War II era explosives? What are other notable cases where large World War II bombs were found in Hong Kong? There's a lot to learn, a lot to uncover, so stay tuned till the very end of the video. Let me break down exactly what went down in Hong Kong's Quarry Bay area. Construction workers were digging 10 meters deep, that's like a 3-story building underground, when they hit something metallic. What they found was a massive American M65 bomb. The M65 was a standard US 1,000-pound general-purpose bomb used during World War II. It was 1.5 meters long, packed with 227 kilograms of pure TNT explosives. To put this in perspective, that's enough explosive power to create a crater the size of a cricket ground and send deadly fragments flying for 2 kilometers in every direction. Now, here's where it gets interesting from a geopolitical angle. This bomb wasn't randomly dropped by some rogue pilot. Between 1942 and 1945, American B-24 and B-25 bombers specifically targeted Hong Kong because it had become Japan's most important naval base in the Pacific. The Japanese were using Hong Kong's deep harbor to repair their warships, store ammunition, and launch attacks across Asia. So the Americans dropped thousands of these bombs to cripple Japan's war machine. But here's the twist that no one talks about. Around 30% of all bombs dropped during World War II never exploded. They just waited. Many of these became unexploded ordnance, UXO, due to faulty fuses or low detonation height, which is why decades later, cities like Hong Kong are still discovering deadly bombs buried underground. Think about this for a second. If Hong Kong, a tiny territory, is still finding massive bombs 80 years later, what does this tell us about the scale of destruction during World War II? We are talking about 2.7 million tons of bombs dropped across Asia and Europe. That's like dropping the weight of 400 Eiffel Towers in explosives. And remember, Hong Kong was occupied by Japan for less than 4 years. Yet, American forces felt the need to bomb it so heavily that we are still dealing with the consequences today. When Hong Kong police confirmed this was a live bomb, with a damaged detonator, meaning they couldn't even move it safely, they had exactly one choice: neutralize it on the spot. Senior bomb disposal officer Suryanto Chinchiu, who has personally handled over 100 World War II bombs, took charge. But nature had other plans. Tropical depression Mitag was dumping heavy rain, making visibility so poor that officers couldn't even see the bomb's structure clearly. Now comes the most nerve-wracking part. The bomb disposal took 10 hours straight. First, they spent 4 hours just cutting a 30-centimeter hole through the bomb steel casing. Imagine trying to perform surgery on a patient that could kill you instantly if you make one wrong move. Then, they surrounded the area with sandbags and protective barriers. Finally, instead of blowing it up, which would have shattered windows across the district, they slowly burnt the TNT explosives in a controlled process. The evacuation was like something out of a disaster movie, but perfectly organized. Within hours, 6,000 residents from 1,900 households were moved out. The government opened 19 emergency shelters, diverted 21 bus routes, shut down tram services and closed major road sections. Elderly residents got special assistance and community volunteers helped neighbors who needed support. All this while rain was pouring down and everyone knew there was a massive bomb that could go off at any moment. Hong Kong finds these bombs regularly. In 2018, they found two 450-kilogram bombs in just 5 days. In 2014, they discovered a 907-kilogram monster, the heaviest bomb ever found there. This isn't rare anymore, it's routine. And Hong Kong has developed one of the world's most sophisticated bomb disposal systems because they have to deal with this constantly. Hong Kong's success comes from 3 things. First, they have mandatory risk assessments before any major construction. Second, their emergency response can evacuate thousands of people within hours through coordinated action between police, fire services, hospitals, and district offices. Third, they've invested in world-class bomb disposal training and equipment since 1972. They even use robots, X-ray imaging, and specialized bomb suits to safely neutralize threats. But there's a darker geopolitical reality here. These bomb discoveries remind us that World War II never really ended for cities across Asia. We are still living with the physical consequences of decisions made by American, British, and Japanese military planners 80 years ago. Every construction project in former conflict zones is potentially dangerous, and this affects urban planning, real estate prices, and public safety policies. What happened in Hong Kong yesterday is a perfect example of how historical conflicts create modern problems. The bomb that threatened 6,000 people in 2025 was dropped by American forces in 1945 to fight Japanese occupation. That's 3 generations later, and families who had nothing to do with that war almost paid the price. The bigger picture is this. As Asian cities continue rapid development, we are going to see more of these discoveries. Vietnam still deals with American bombs daily. Laos has 30% of its territory contaminated with unexploded ordnance. Even Europe finds World War II bombs regularly during construction. For India, this Hong Kong incident should be a wake-up call. We need robust protocols for construction in areas with wartime history, trained bomb disposal teams, and emergency evacuation systems that can handle thousands of people quickly. Because if this can happen in Hong Kong, one of Asia's most prepared cities, it can definitely happen anywhere else. The real lesson from Hong Kong isn't just about one bomb. It's about how the past can literally explode into the present without warning. And only cities with serious preparation, trained professionals, and coordinated emergency systems can protect their people when history comes knocking at their door. Here's my question for you. If Indian cities like Mumbai, Kolkata, or Chennai discovered similar World War II bombs tomorrow, do you think our emergency systems are ready to evacuate thousands of people safely and dispose of the threat professionally? What should India learn from Hong Kong's response to prepare for dangers we didn't even know existed? Share your thoughts below, and if you like my content, kindly consider subscribing to the channel. Jai Hind.